Japan is a land where the boundary between the living and the dead is as thin as rice paper. Ancient stories persist, spoken in hush across generations. Most are cautionary tales, meant to warn children. But some, like that of Yureizaka, the Hill of Spirits, linger with a weight no bedtime story should carry. Hidden deep in the Mie Prefecture, Yureizaka is absent from maps, erased from temple registries, and shunned by modern villagers. It was once home to a shrine so feared and avoided that the emperor himself commanded it sealed in the 1800s. Rumors speak of Yurei, vengeful ghosts. But older tales whisper of something deeper, something summoned from an era before names. During the late Edo period, onmyoji, mystics who balanced light and dark, fought to contain a spirit there. They succeeded in sealing it beneath the earth, but some say that if the wrong person disturbs the shrine, the curse will awaken and consume anew. Kenji Tanaka, 27, lived for thrills. His YouTube channel, Urban Unseen, had grown rapidly, specializing in haunted explorations. His fans loved it. Abandoned mental hospitals, cursed tunnels, and desolate islands were his stage. After returning from a supposed cursed ryokan in Gunma, Kenji noticed a comment that stood out among the usual emojis and hype. "Go to Yureizaka, if you dare." He scrolled past it, twice. But it returned, verbatim, posted on each of his newest videos. When he finally searched the name, all he found were disconnected links to archive forums and an obscure image board with half-deleted posts. Some mentioned children disappearing. Others described an untraceable live stream from a shrine deep in the forest. And one image stood out, a faded torii gate with a woman in white standing in its shadow. His teaser video exploded. Live tomorrow, the lost shrine of Yureizaka, only on Urban Unseen. The views rolled in. The warnings were ignored. Kenji left Tokyo early, alone. His final location pin was deep in the Mie Mountains, reachable only by foot. By the time he reached the base of the trail, daylight was fading. He began his hike with his handheld rig streaming live. At first, the path seemed ordinary. Trees, rocks, the distant sound of rushing water. But something shifted beyond the 3rd mile. The forest grew darker though the sun had not yet set. The birds fell silent. The wind stopped. Then, an old torii gate. Half consumed by moss, the gate leaned forward unnaturally. Kenji, with a nervous chuckle, stepped through. The temperature dropped instantly. Static hit his mic. As he continued, the forest contorted. Trees twisted unnaturally. The ground pulsed faintly beneath his feet. Strange figures appeared briefly in the foliage, then vanished. The stream lagged, glitching frames revealing brief flickers of another world, shadows, pale faces, a crimson moon. Then, he saw it. The shrine. A ruin held together by rot and roots, its entrance cloaked in hanging prayer beads and shredded Shimenawa ropes. Kenji's voice trembled as he announced, "Guys, I think I found it." Before the forest swallowed it whole, Yureizaka's shrine pulsed with ancient rites. In 1821, it was guarded by a miko, Akiko, a solemn girl raised in silence among spirits and shadows. She knew how to read omens in bird bones, how to cleanse with salt and chant in the old tongue. But her world was ruled by her mother, Sayuri, the shrine's high priestess, a woman both revered and feared. Sayuri was no ordinary priestess. By day, she prayed for good harvests. By night, she murmured to the dead. The villagers heard the low drumming at midnight, saw smoke curl unnaturally from the shrine's rooftop. Offerings disappeared, always at new moon. They dared not question her. For in the years under her rituals, the village remained untouched by famine, war, or plague. But Akiko knew something was wrong. She found Sayuri one night in the inner sanctum, kneeling before a pool of ink-dark water, chanting a sutra not written in any scroll. Blood circled her feet, a shadow twisted in the water, answering. Akiko watched in silence as her mother bargained, not with gods, but something older, a yokai, hungry and clever. It had no form, only a voice that seeped into the mind like rot, and it wanted more. After that night, children began vanishing. No signs, no sounds, just empty beds. The villagers whispered again, but Sayuri insisted the mountain had claimed them. Spirits need balance, she said. We only maintain the order. Akiko, torn between duty and dread, searched the hidden rooms of the shrine. Behind a false wall, she found scrolls, inked in her mother's hand, with the names of the missing and rituals to bind their souls. Rage shook her. Her mother hadn't saved the village, she had fed it to a curse. When she confronted Sayuri beneath the shrine, candles flickering, the air thick with incense and blood, her mother did not deny it. She smiled. The forest protects us because it fears us, Sayuri said. Would you let it unravel now? Akiko screamed and wept and begged, but in the end, she did what her mother would never expect. She completed the final sutra herself. Using Sayuri's own blood, she bound the yokai beneath the shrine, dragging her mother's spirit with it. The ground cracked, the air split with thunder. The ceiling worked, but at a cost. By morning, the villagers were gone. Every home empty, bowls of rice left uneaten. The shrine stood silent. Akiko was last seen at the torii gate. Hair wild, kimono stained, whispering to something that wasn't there. Then she too vanished. Now they say her weeping still echoes in the shrine. Kenji found blackened talismans and a broken mirror. A child's voice whispered from behind a collapsed wall.
Sleep, little crow. The night is near.
His stream chat erupted. There's a face in the mirror! Someone is behind him! A figure emerged. A woman in a white kimono, long black hair draped over her face. She whispered.
You've broken the seal, child.
Kenji screamed. The stream distorted, warped. The feed cut to black. The stream returned hours later. Kenji sat cross-legged before the altar, eyes black. He smiled unnaturally. He spoke in old dialect. The maiden failed. The feast begins anew. Then, screams echoed from inside the stream. Hundreds reported nausea, hallucinations, and even seizures while watching. YouTube removed the video. Kenji's channel vanished. When police traced the location, all they found was a scorched clearing. No shrine, no equipment. Only a pristine torii gate and a line of red feathers forming a spiral. 1 year later, Urban Unseen's channel revived. A new video posted automatically. Footage of the shrine. A lullaby sung by a woman. A scream. Then, let the bloodline return. Every year, on the same date, a new 2-minute clip appears. No login trace, no metadata. Experts fail to explain it. They say, if you stand at Yureizaka under a moonless sky and hear the lullaby, you'll see the woman, and she'll ask you, will you feed the shrine? Many believe it's all a hoax, but in Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, people have vanished. all subscribers to Urban Unseen. For more chilling, haunted tales that will keep you up at night, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of the Hollow.